Arslan Ash is the most dominant competitive Tekken player in Tekken history. The upside of that is that's an insane legacy to have. The downside of that is you will have YouTubers farming content every time you lose. Now, I'm a gigantic Arslan Ash fan. He's kind of the gold standard to me of a competitive player. So like whenever I train for tournaments, whether it's just the Tekken part of it or the tournament travel part of it, the competitive mindset part of it, Arslan Ash is the gold standard to me. Everything he does, it feels like lines up perfectly for performance in a 1-2 open bracket tournament. He shows up even if he's nervous, and if you talk to him in person, you'll know that he wears his nerves very publicly. But for some reason, as soon as he sits down in the game, you don't see any of that. And that's why he's so cool to watch and study. Now, I have 2 matches to show you today that I'm really excited to talk about. This is at Ultimate Fighting Arena in France. I haven't watched the entire tournament, but the matches I have seen have showcased a lot of pretty exciting Tekken. Europe is really showing out to defend their home turf. You'll see that I have notes below talking about this match, Hexmark versus Arslan Ash. I have another match coming after this. And Hexmark does a lot of really cool, like EU-specific things that I think really shine in this match. So I'm going to play the match. I'm going to yap a bit about these notes, but I'm going to focus on the match here. So Hexmark is a very fast, high interaction player. He's got cracked reactions. He's really aggressive. So it makes Arslan Ash want to interact. And that's what I think the story of this 1-2 is he plays in a way that's very proactive and tries to get Arslan Ash to respond. And then he makes high reward plays in those responses, kind of regardless of the risk. So Hexmark will do the launch punishable Paul's shoulders. He will go for the string extensions that can be ducked, but they're all reads, confident reads on Arslan trying to interact. And that's kind of the EU style. I say EU style RPS, rock, paper, scissors, in that regardless of the safety or the risk or, you know, the situation of the game, like, does the situation of the game demand that I play this aggressively? No, but I am so confident that I'm going to outplay you in this rock, paper, scissors decision that I will win. That's the European playstyle. They will make decisions that seem kind of dumb whether they work or fail. But it's because of their confidence in making those reads. So let's get to the match. Paul versus Nina. And Hexmark has been a Paul player since Tekken 7. And you can already see he's not just backing away from Nina's fast pokes. Paul, even though he has really like evasive, annoying buttons, he kind of has to hold a lot of defensive situations. But you see him dashing into the mix using the deep dive dash and creating this pressure off the bat, not just backing away. Huge half HP combo, grounded hit. Now Arslan is poking back. Plus frames, and now Hexmark chills. He's not forcing anything. Death Fist out of nowhere. Not sure what the read was, but he had some kind of idea that it would hit. Now he's chilling out again, but staying right up close, putting in some ducks. And you could see that even though he hasn't been swinging a lot, he closes out the round with a few quick pokes, he stays right in the mix. He plays confident ducks when he thinks a low is coming, even though Nina could just launch you, right? But there's a huge factor of playing confidently to the read you expect. Arslan Ash hits a nice down bag too, taking advantage of the fact that Hexmark has been standing still and then doing a delayed button. So Arslan does a super slow chop to get that nice duck under down forward 1-2-4, no launch. Forward 2, and Arslan ducks back in response. Big block on the demo man, goes for the wall splat punisher, which is a bit more damage, I believe, than going for just a straight up launcher. Not enough to kill, but he kills with the low. 1-1. This is very tight. Alright. Poking back and forth, a few whiffs on both sides, but no launch punish. So Hexmark gets away kind of scot-free, and I think he's going to pay attention to that. Sidestep back 3, but drops the combo. Unfazed, he's still playing the game just as fast as before. QCF3 gets interrupted by Nina's down forward 1-2. She's poking from distance. Now he's pushing her to the wall. Arslan Ash makes a smart heat burst play here and throws to swap sides. Now look at this play that Hexmark makes. He grabs and then mashes shoulder right after. It actually evaded Nina's high. So you see what I mean? It's a launch punishable move. If Arslan Ash just blocked, he would have killed him. But Hexmark is so confident in making these reads, and Arslan delays his timing around Paul's punch parry once again. Now, these European players are so fast, so dynamic. Look, quick duck into quick punish. No launch, of course, but he's not taking time to dwell on that. He finds the counter hit QCB4. Combo to the wall. Yep, as expected. Heat burst, death fist. Instead of the grounded hit, goes for the mid this time. Evasive shoulder gets punished, but look, it doesn't really cost him a lot. He has so much advantage still. Finishes the unsafe string just because it'll put Arslan near lethal. And all those decisions added up, right? A few unsafe decisions, but with the game state, it actually turned out to be a great choice to go for that. QCB 1+2. High reward option here. Demo Man, again, risky. But if it's going to hit, it pushes him closer and closer towards a win. While standing 3-2 off the ground. Arslan interrupting, trying to get damage, but because of the health deficit now, the clock is kind of ticking. Arslan can't just play pass on different interactions, so he tries to interrupt and gets counter hit. This is incredible play from Hexmark. Look at it, starts back here. It starts all the way back here, right? So remember, earlier, he did the grounded stomp punch, right, to hit on the ground. So he goes for the mid. It does a bunch of chip. Arslan starts interacting, right? He plays the shoulder. So Arslan knows he kind of has to contain this dude. So he interacts right away, trying to keep his turn, right? He has a health deficit to make up. Hexmark knows this and finishes the string. Now he can tell Arslan is trying to fight back. It's textbook. It's Tekken. Look at this. Goes into stance. He knows Arslan is trying to break this pressure, trying to take control back, sidestep around the heat burst, and then just hit him low, right? Arslan is losing interactions over and over and over again, so he just does a quick low poke, assuming Arslan will just pass his turn and wait for a better opportunity. And then that kind of momentum carries into the last round. He gets a huge robbery attempt off of a raw launcher, right? Even if he got punished, it would not have been too ugly. Nina has to build a lot of pressure with a lot of pokes and stack damage slowly, whereas Paul can just kind of nuke you if he gets a good read. While standing 3-2, if you don't know off the ground, by the way, when you get hit on the ground here and you're face down, you can tap up and do a kick, and it'll be a while rising kick. So that's how he gets while standing 3-2. Then, again, this time he doesn't just play defensively. He keeps the hitboxes coming out, Hexmark that is. And then he knows Arslan. Look at this life deficit. He has to make that up somehow. He knows Arslan's going to get active. So what does he do? Waits for an opportunity. Sidestep 3, down forward 1-1-2. The basics, right? Hits the low, keeps the pressure going. So Hexmark playing with some great momentum. But again, I talked about in the beginning, Arslan Ash is a first to two expert, right? He's built a career off of his ability to play first to twos extremely cleanly. So his adaptation is going to be cool to see too. Delayed timing shoulder, but Arslan Ash checks in the second time with an immediate down forward 2. Right, so Hexmark is going to add a lot more randomness into his play to try to keep Arslan more overwhelmed, right? Evasive shoulder again. But Arslan, if he stays unfazed, if he keeps checking him, look, the hitboxes are coming out. Paul cannot stand up to this onslaught of offense very easily. He has to make huge reads like that sidestep back 3. Very, very clutch. This is ugly. Oh my goodness. Down jab. Okay, using heat smash just to get some heal back. To heal some health back. Counter hit down back 3 is huge. If not for that counter hit, he would have had to win like another interaction or two. Arslan takes the lead. Hexmark playing from a distance. Again, trying to see how Arslan will respond up close. Down forward 1 counter hit. Look at this aggressive movement. Not forcing an immediate mix-up right away, but playing with his timing, making it so Arslan can't tell when he's allowed to play the game. Immediate down forward 2. And look at the risk reward on that again, right? If he ate the last counter hit, no problem. If he lands this down forward 2, Arslan is almost dead. Just patiently waiting for the down jab. Okay. Hold on. Arslan fighting back. Beautiful whiff punish. And a nice combo. Extra wall hits. The life bars are now equal. Oh my goodness. He finished the string anyways. He's deep diving. The last pixel. He runs in with the last pixel and he closes it out. Arslan sitting still a little too long and Hexmark smelling the hesitation, getting aggressive. No punish on the death fist. Arslan getting a little active again is probably what he wants to do. But you can see him kind of still biding his time, playing from a distance. Right? Slowing it down, trying to see if Hexmark's going to expose himself indecently, sidestep left, down forward 2. And that's a great play from Hexmark. Despite his aggression and his RPS style, he sees Arslan slowing it down, he responds. He also slows it down. Okay, down 4. Another backsway 1+2. He knows that Nina has to hit him a lot, and so he's using that to his advantage, trying to find huge, like, robbery or high reward hits in order to maintain a health lead, right? Beautiful block on the Demo Man. This round was insane. I don't blame him for rage arting at all. You don't want to throw away any potential combo opportunity. Gives you time to settle down, observe what's happening. Bad breath. Look, he's poking again. This is the secret, I think. Look, he has a half health lead, and then he finds a counter hit because Hexmark has to make up that life deficit, right? That's kind of Nina's strength. Back 2-2 punish, down back 3. Look at this round. Amazing gameplay. Shoulder! Hexmark getting into heat. Now, this is scary. We've seen him rob before. Down forward 1-2. Everybody calm down. No problem. Look at this round. This round was so sick. This round went on forever, too. So, Hexmark starts off with a huge lead. Right? This down 4-2 is so good. Right? If Nina finishes the string, like, I take, like, minus frames and then I have to block some more. But if I'm correct with this down forward 2, then look at the reward, right? It speaks for itself. Great choice. Great active. Oh my god. How much damage did that Ender do? That Ender did what? 65 to 90. That's 25 damage. Off just the Ender. That's ridiculous. And look, and now he doesn't need to force the aggression anymore. With this health lead, Arslan has to swing into him. So he chills out on the plus frames, waits for the down jab, gets a quick poke. It doesn't kill, 1 pixel. Arslan is now in a great position, and Hexmark gets a little hasty. And what's so cool about this is this palm move forward 2 was such a good choice, right? This move is so consistent. But Arslan Ash basically, he finds the whiff punish on that. This move feels borderline unwhiff punishable if you've ever tried. So Arslan was so ready for him to try and close out. This was incredible championship level play. And to get this combo, this is why he's the GOAT. But what's crazy is he pulls off the gas here. And Hexmark completely takes advantage, right? Look at this. Look at the confidence here. If he eats a down forward 1-2 to 1 mix, he's dead. He just keeps dashing in. And now Arslan chills out, waits for Hexmark to overextend. He doesn't. He gets in there and forces the kill. So, Hexmark is playing extremely well. Arslan takes it back. I had to take that little diversion because the gameplay was so cool. Hexmark gets a little hasty and gets counter hit. Now it's the final game. Coaching from fellow teammate Super Akuma. Now, as a competitive 1-2 player, you hate to see this part. They're on a double floor break stage in a 1-2. The risk reward of everything changes. Nina's heat smash now breaks the floor. Paul's heat smash doesn't. It's a wall breaking one, right? So there are new factors to consider, and you don't have a lot of data from the other player to make your reads. It's a really scary place to be. So Arslan Ash is back in there with his pokes. Hexmark defending well and finding pokes of his own. He's been able to maintain a bit of a health lead going poke for poke. Nina's in heat now. Dash down forward 2. Heat smash spent. Hexmark still has a chance to use his if he can get in there, but this is looking ugly. Back 2-2. He's going to have to make a huge comeback. And that is one way to do it. Push back trap into down forward 2 rage art. The rage art animation is going to play. Look at what just happened. This is minus 13, right? But this pushback so far, Arslan has to dash up to start his offense. He does dash down forward 1, and Hexmark immediately mashes a down forward 2. That's the kind of confident read I'm talking about. It's not about principle. It's not about this is safe, this isn't safe. It's I know what you're going to do. You're going to run up to me and swing. I'm going to hit you first. That's that European confidence. Down back 2, catching the delay time again. We saw that in game 1. Wall combo, step on him. Nice block. You toe kick in that position. I was just talking about it. European RPS. He thought it would work, and it cost him the game. Look at this game state. You don't need to do that there. But this is tournament. Stress is high, nerves are high, and your goal at the time may just be stop Arslan from running me over. So a toe kick in that framework makes sense, right? But Arslan plays the numbers. He knows if I just block this get up kick, I will kill him. If he does a mid get up kick, nothing happens to me. Sidestep, huge opportunity for Arslan. Step on him again. Similar situation. No toe kick this time, but he mashes into the 3rd hit of the string. And this is what I mean, right? Unpredictability only goes so far. If you play for consistency, right? You can eventually win. Now, you could argue that the string was duckable in the first place, so Arslan was kind of gambling anyways, but that's kind of the Tekken thing. You're not just reading high, mid, low. You're also reading opponent timing tendencies. Are they mashing on retaliation? Are they trying to take their turn back? Are they trying to delay their timing? These guys are playing that game more than just, do I duck the string? And now the string gets ducked, right? So they're cycling their options. Arslan, maybe feeling the pressure a little bit, tried to replay that option too soon. And he gets caught going for a low get-up kick, and that ender Paul has will break the floor. And I think he's dead. Oh, no, FDX combo, but he immediately goes to the next play and plays a mix-up on the tech roll. Arslan folding a little bit with the get-up kick and with the high string, and only a small punish on that huge QCB 1+2. There's not a lot Nina can do, I can assume. Like, she's not going to match the reward that Paul gets. And all Hexmark has to do now is tighten it up. But he gets counter hit launched by a low. Does Arslan spend the floor? He does. Removing the option for Paul to get a higher damage ender, keeping the game in a kind of controlled state. This is looking really good. With punish. This should be it. Yep. Wrong aerial tailspin. Yep. The extension missed, and he gets a punish. That was a punish underneath the guns. That's a disaster. Hexmark's going to go into heat. He's healing. And now the life bars are basically equal. We know Paul can kill from this position. Dash, dash, death fist. Arslan was reading offense, and Hexmark simply blocks and punishes. I talked about how it never feels like he folds, but he went for a launch punishable evasive button. And Hexmark kept it so clean. Well-earned victory. A close-fought battle. And he is popping off. But it's like I was saying. You see Arslan getting pressured to interact because this dude Hexmark has cracked reactions. He has high aggression. And he will play the high reward buttons. It's hard to predict. So at a certain point, you don't want someone like that to play the game. You want to be the oppressor, especially as Nina. But Hexmark was so on point at just stopping him at the right time, of splashing in that random option. And if he senses Arslan is hesitating, getting in there aggressively. An amazing match. I have one more to show you. These are double elimination brackets. In case you don't watch Tekken tournaments very often, Arslan Ash has a second chance in the losers bracket. They streamed his losers bracket match against Tibetano, a fellow multi-time TWT finalist. Now, I need to put in another disclaimer here. I'm not the biggest fan of Asuka. Me and Tibetano, we're on great terms. I talk to him, we're very friendly, I love covering his matches. I love the way that he approaches the game. It is impossible for me to cover this match without complaining about Asuka. And rather than make it really subjective and player preference, I just put a bunch of her frame data below here that you can evaluate, right? These situations will come up as we watch the match. Now, let's be clear, I'm not exactly defending Arslan either. Anna Williams is another war criminal character. So, we're about to see some Tekken 8. Let's just put it that way. Down forward 3. And then Tibetano gets counter hit approaching. Now, what makes Tibetano so good, especially in Tekken 8 with Asuka and Claudio, is his idea of the game, he tried to go for a parry there and got rocket launched. If you rewind it exactly, like it split parry frame there. If you watch Tibetano play, it's like he took notes on like everything anybody has ever complained about his characters. Like, what is the most annoying thing my character can do? And he has optimized fully how to abuse that to the maximum extent. Round start sidestep 2. Going for the Naniwa Gusto chip damage and plus frames. Right? When Asuka charges up, she gets a ton of plus frames and chips, so you have to respond, but if you respond at the wrong time, she parries you and launches you. Heat smash, no floor break. Destabilizer 50-50 after. The low was made to be less reactable than the mid, so you truly have to guess if she goes for that throw. Back 3 and extends it to go under Arslan's whiff punish. Now, something you'll see about Arslan's Anna is that he doesn't have the exact same proficiency as he does on Nina, which is expected. It's a new character. Even though Anna's OP, your instincts are not locked in with the character. He doesn't have the best whiff punishment. He doesn't have the best responses to all of these situations because it takes a lot of time to develop. Right? So we saw, like, against the Paul, Nina did QCF2 whiff punish. He doesn't have that kind of whiff punishment with Anna, but he does have a nice down forward 2 to place when Tibetano goes for a sidestep button. But the combo drops. There's a whiff punish I'm talking about. Atif would probably go for forward 3-2, the kick into the rocket launcher, but Arslan Ash misses it. Now, he does get a nice counter hit low against Tibetano's parry attempt, which is leading to this nasty situation. Rocket launcher breaks the floor. You know, it makes sense, but I have just never seen that happen. 1 pixel. Toe kick. Now that's a nice toe kick because he's going to die regardless if he's wrong, right? And a great power crush from Arslan. Can I just point out that Tibetano, like I was saying, tried to double can him. Sorry about this. He tried to can one time, and then he tried to can again. That's because can is -8 on block, and it low crushes on frame 5. So if you go for a low immediately after, you're gonna die, unless it's like a generic down 4. It's pretty cheap. Sidestep duck while standing 3 is really, really good. That was an extremely good play. The combo, less as much. Homing mid counter hit chop from Anna. I'm not a fan of that move either. He rolled underneath the first hit of up forward 1-2, but the second one is a mid. 0 on block. And a perfect punish. Yeah, these European players, man, I'm telling you. Even though we may disagree on how they approach the neutral and the RPS of the game, you cannot deny that their defense and their punishment is so cracked. Beautiful duck on the sweep and attempted robbery from Arslan Ash. Debatably a little obvious, but he had a full heat gauge to play with too, but not a lot of HP. So now he's trying to get a bit more aggressive. Not the best whiff punish again. Anna could get a lot more. And a generic throw unbroken. These are the kinds of mistakes that you see more often on a side character, right? And it's not to downplay what's happening here. It's just an important consideration. Like, why do top players just pick like the S tier characters? It's because your comfort matters a lot. And you could see here that he got completely run over. What happened this round? I was yapping, right? Tibetano gets heat off, gets a generic throw, bit of mental destabilization perhaps, chip damage. Chip damage with the heat dash, chip damage with running 1+2, chip damage with the charge move, and then the low hit. So by the time he hits the low, right, he's down to half HP. Usually I say chip damage is mostly ignorable, but in this situation, it's not really. Because there's an exploding wall behind you, the mistakes matter more. Down forward 3, +4 on block. Sorry, down back 3. +4, frame trap. When I tell you guys, frame trapping is the fundamentals of Tekken. Arslan Ash got frame trapped and died for it. You gotta learn your frame traps. I'm telling you. He's +4. He did a 13 frame move. Arslan he was put in crouch, so he tried while standing 3. It's not fast enough. You got to give your opponents the rules of the road, the speed limits. Nice block and punish. Yep, tailspin. That did 77 damage before the wall. Sheesh. Spring kick, okay, but then sidestep 2 immediately. Spring kick is extremely plus. But Tibetano disrespects the frames, understanding that Arslan is not really comfortable with his offense. He's probably not going to get super tightly restricted. And Asuka, even if you do try to play... That was a beautiful block. Against Asuka, even if you do try to play frame tight, she has all of her parries that break the frame rules, right? 4 frame parry, 5 frame parry. There it is. Look at this sequence, man. Down forward 2 is -6. Then he does a 4 frame parry. Even if you jab, it will be caught by the punch parry, the launching punch parry that's 0 on block, that leads to a 78 damage combo before the wall and 90 damage after the spike ender. Like, this is why Asuka's so hard to fight. She used to be a defensive character that you would just chill out against and find openings. But with her new form of aggression that she's been given, the chip damage, the plus frames, the string extensions, the knockdown low, the safe mid, she's had those, right? This is the safe mid launcher. She's had those, but everything put together makes it so that you kind of have to interact with her. And she has so many ways to kill you for it that do not cost her a lot. Sidestep 2, heat dash. Tibetano's up 2 rounds, by the way. Arslan's in the corner. I don't know how he's going to make this comeback. Plus frames, low again. Okay, small punish, but can he get anything? Counter hit back 4 and it's over. And that's it. Tibetano understanding that Arslan can't find a good offensive momentum, so no matter what happens, he just hits his button, counter hit launch. It also blows through the armor, right? Arslan Ash's armor choice was decent, but he didn't have the HP to back it up. And so Arslan Ash goes out at 9th at UFA. A shocking upset regardless. Again, huge fan of Arslan Ash, huge fan of Tibetano. This is Tekken 8. This is first to 2. I'm sure there will be high emotions on both sides, whether you're a fan of Asuka, whether you're a fan of Arslan, whether you're not, for either of those. But I thought this was a match worth covering, how somebody who is a consistent EVO champion is still finding some issues. And Europe played really well in these sets. Absolute credit to them. So Tekken is always evolving. I think the pros crave a lot of consistency. We'll see where the patches go. And if you've stuck around this long, leave a comment. Let me know if you've made it this far. I figured it'd be a good time to give a little bulletin. I'll just put some of the gameplay up again, because honestly, it was cool. That went by so fast. 2xKO is out in closed beta form, which is exciting. I kind of started my YouTube channel, believe it or not, kind of waiting for Project L at the time, what is now 2xKO. I was a League player, I was a Smash player. I played Tekken because after work days, there was like no time to play League. So I wanted to stream Tekken, and now that 2xKO is out, I've been pretty excited. I'm not sure how to transition the main channel audience over to more 2xKO content. I kind of was hoping to do it more with Street Fighter 6, especially as Tekken 8 Season 2 came out. But I think I've been on fumes. I think I've been grinding a lot since 2024 when Tekken 8 dropped, and I haven't been resting or taking care of my health. So this isn't to make you feel sorry for me. This is more just like, this is where I'm at with the channel, is I'm interested in doing things outside of Tekken, just because we don't know how this game is going to be patched. We don't know how consistent it's going to be. It feels like there's a lot of mixed opinions everywhere. There's a lot of negativity. I think it just makes sense to be able to cover other content as well. But I haven't been able to put in the work to gently transition people into other types of fighting games. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm trying to do more on the FDX Unhinged channel. We have some compilations going up, some of the other games I've been playing. And I hope to put maybe some more beginner-oriented content for 2xKO and Street Fighter as well. Kind of things like, if you're a Tekken player, how can I enjoy these other games? Because we Tekken players have a reputation of only playing Tekken, which is true for, like, the stereotype exists for a reason. But I would like to bring more people over to these other games. I think these other games have a lot to offer. I think if you bring those skills back to Tekken, you can get a lot better. My Tekken game got way more confident once I started playing Street Fighter, where you're forced to make reads over and over at a fast pace, right? Tekken gives you characters and kind of knowledge gaps and a movement system that can make you kind of evade responsibility, right? Like, I play Lily and Steve. I can weave and sidestep out of proper defense. But Street Fighter forces you to make these reads. And I think that could benefit. 2xKO has an insane execution floor. Just if you don't do pulse combos, the basics of just moving around and doing combos in the game, it feels like I've never played a video game in my life. So I'm interested in bringing those skills to a Tekken perspective, or in general, just for people who enjoy listening to me yap about these things, just kind of covering those games and exploring other interests. So that's my little bulletin at the end of this video. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded. I've been trying in general to find consistency and a good balance. So I appreciate your patience as there's been a delay in the uploads. That's all I have for you today. Leave a like and a comment if you've enjoyed your time here. Subscribe for more, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.